All right, let me know that you can see my screen. Everything looks good. All right, awesome.
Looks
Perfect.
great.
All right, great. All right, well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We're excited to partner with the Pinelands Family Center and talk about some of the things that, the lessons that we learned from 2020, because we are still feeling them and we're kind of slowly making our way through this year as well. And some of the things that I have collected over the years that I have found that everyone, whether you're a homeowner or you are working on becoming a homeowner, you are a renter, I think will be something that is good to know and kind of good to keep an eye on. So that's why we are here today. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Olga St. Pierre. I am a local community real estate specialist. I am a real estate agent right here in our area. And just a little bit about what I do and why I'm here. I have been licensed and serving our clients in my practice for the last 11, going on 12 years now, this month actually. And we service clients in just about the whole state of New Jersey and a big part of Pennsylvania, suburban Philadelphia. Our team mission is, I truly believe that everyone with a budget and plan can become a homeowner. And of course, this is a huge part of our American dream. And once you do become homeowner, my goal and our team's goal, and this is why we are here in the community, to help you be a responsible and sustainable homeowner. Because as you know, you are investing a lot of money in becoming a homeowner. It is one of your biggest investments. We want to make sure that you protect it and you take care of it. We help you, your friends and family move pretty much anywhere in the United States and Canada. And of course, our world has become smaller. So if there's any other parts of the world where you are thinking about heading, we can probably help you as well. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us so we can help you make this move process as stress-free as possible, because we all know moving and selling, it is extremely stressful. And a big part of what we do for our community is our concierge service. If you're looking for a professional, think of us as your virtual yellow pages, anyone from A to Z, whether you're looking for a contractor or a accountant or financial planner or landscaper, anyone that you can think of, we are here to help you. And we have a pretty extensive spreadsheet of contacts that we keep on the regular basis. So if we can help you and make your working on your home and your updates and upgrades a little bit easier and your life more efficient, that's what we're here for. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us. So this slide is part of the workbook that we're going to share with you. And at the end, if we do not have your contact information, like your email or mailing address, if you would like to send this book for us to send it to you, please put it in the chat box so that way we have that information. All right, so let's jump right in. Let's talk a little bit about the lessons of 2020 because they definitely still apply. Right? We're still seeing the effects of COVID and the things that kind of have halted our everyday life pretty much overnight last year. And as we kind of saw what happened last year, is a change can happen overnight, whether it's a small or drastic, and that's exactly what happened. And a lot of us felt out of control, right? We weren't sure what we would do, when things would change. And we are still trying to get out of that situation and wondering when things are going to truly go back to normal. And most of us are not sure. So what I always say to everyone, and I make sure that I say this to myself and my husband and my children, is that there's really two things that we can control. And that is our thoughts and our actions, right? What we do and how we think and how we react to things. So it just makes things a little bit easier when you know exactly what you can worry about and what is worrying maybe that really shouldn't be done because you have no way of controlling or changing or fixing that. So in terms of real estate, here's what we have learned in the last year, a little bit over a year now, is that now suburbs are preferred over city living. People are desiring and just really looking for more space. They're looking for more square footage. They're looking for space, right? Separate spaces for home office, for gym, right? Our kitchens have become bake stations, right? Because that's what we were trying to do. There were spaces for games and movie watching for families. And of course, space for backyard, right? To be able to go out and get some fresh air and do some outside work or have some fun. In 2021, the evictions for the non-payment of rent or for mortgage are coming. What this month, the month of July, is the absolute last month of deferment. They're saying that this is not going to be extended. So if this is something that applies to you or is important to you, you may want to reach out to your landlord or to your mortgage lender and make arrangements and figure out what is the game plan, because every one of those institutions is different. They have different policies and procedures and game plan put in place. If you have questions about this, I have had a lot of experience in working with those homeowners that get behind on their schedule. So you're more than welcome to reach back out to me and have a private conversation to see how we can help you in your particular situation. Increased cost of contractor labor and materials. That is very much still relevant today, where there are, because of the slower and decreased production last year, people are still trying to catch up. Contractors and companies are still trying to catch up with building materials, with a lot of things, actually. If you look on and if you're shopping in some of the big box stores or even on Amazon, you'll see that some of the things are being delayed in terms of shipping. And overall, if you are thinking about doing renovation projects on your space, be prepared for sticker price shocks, for sure. Because the materials are costing more, the labor itself is going to be costing more. So those projects are going to be overall a lot more expensive for you to do. And if you can wait, go ahead and wait until things kind of normalize and stabilize and the supply catches with the demand. Still record low mortgage interest rates. Absolutely. I had clients that locked in 2.75% last year for conventional loan, which is unheard of. And this is why we are having a little bit of a stressful real estate market. The reason being is because the rates are so low. A lot of buyers really would love to take advantage of those rates because they can afford more of a house because of the lower interest rates. What that means is that increasing demand for the homes is not, the supply is not there, right? There are not more homes that are coming on the market to meet the increased demand. So we are having a very stressful market right now, where when homes do come on the market, they stay on the market for maybe 2 to 3 days. And then you have, 20, 30, 40 showings. And then you have a significant amount of offers that then the seller can pick and choose from. So sellers are absolutely making out in this market. They are getting absolute high and really great prices for their homes, but it is extremely stressful for the buyers. I'll give you an example. I have sellers that have sold and moved in with family. And finally, our offer number 8 got accepted last night. We were finally there. And it was tough for them. I just kind of prepped them and I said, guys, you cannot get attached. You cannot get emotional. Unfortunately, this is what it's going to take if you are interested in finding a home in this market. So I know that has helped them. So what also the lessons that we have learned, and this is a big part of what I do when we're working with clients, is helping everyone to understand that what 2020 taught us is that overnight, when things have changed and people can lose job overnight, if you do not have savings for rainy day fund, savings for car repairs, home repairs, or emergencies, this is something that you should prioritize and work right now, like yesterday, right? There's no better day to start on something that is important than today. Right. So my goal and my recommendation is to help you understand that you need to have at least 6 months of rainy day fund, and you put that into a savings account that is called rainy day, and that money stays there and you don't touch it unless there's an emergency or you have some emergency repairs, pertaining to car, home, or something else that can come up. I found this really easy and fun way of saving, right? Because we really should make this fun, because a lot of people don't want to budget and they don't want to save money. I can send this PDF to anyone who might be interested in. It's almost like a bingo, right? Where every day, every month, actually, so every square is how much money you need to save every month. If you want to do it in every other week or something else, absolutely. That means you will just save faster, right? So once you have every square checked off on this card, you will have $10,000 in your savings by the end of the period that you choose to focus on. So I just thought this was just a different way, to kind of a fun way of looking at things and making sure that you have the peace of mind and that you can sleep at night knowing that this is something that you will have as a protection, right? As a backup, as a rainy day fund. So 2021, here is my suggestions. And actually these things, for some of the people that have heard me do this workshop in the beginning of the year, I'm asking you guys to keep an open mind and say, and tell me, how is this working for you? What have you started? Where are you with some of these projects? What have you decided to focus on, right? Because I'm not asking you to do everything. I am asking you to look at the list and see what makes sense to you in your situation. Okay, so we talked about saving. Easy way is the $10,000 bingo, right? Or if those amounts are too hard for you, why don't you just do $10 a week, right? It does not have to be anything drastic. Open a savings account in your bank and you can deposit your year-end bonus. You can deposit your raise money. You deposit your tax refund. This is something we talk about on a regular basis and help people understand. This is one of the ways for you to create and save money in your rainy day fund at the end and the beginning of the year. And also, if you are thinking about becoming a homeowner and you don't have the money for your down payment and closing costs, this is one of the great ways. These are a couple of the tips for you to help you create that account and save money to become a homeowner. Okay. Next, you still have time, absolutely, go back to your expenses last year and maybe expenses in your first quarter of this year and see where you stand. Yes, this is going to be painful, probably, might be even uncomfortable for a lot of people, but it's a great way for you to see, were there any expenses that were unnecessary, that were impulse buys, okay? Then you need to make a list of the expenses that are absolutely necessary, right? The necessity that we're talking about are your number one priority. That is your rent or mortgage, depending if you're a homeowner or not, your utilities and your food. That's it. Those are your top three that are not negotiable that you have to have. Everything else is going to be optional, right? And can be negotiated. Okay, so what have you seen on your notebook when you started working on those items? What does that expense in your budget looks like, and how can you change those things going forward to help you get back on track and maybe to save some money? If you have not refinanced your current mortgage and your current rate is higher than 3.75, it is absolutely the best time to do that now. So take a look at your mortgage statement and see where your percentage is now. And we are happy to make recommendations to you for excellent local lenders that provide great service, have very low fees, and that will help you lower your monthly payment. Be more lenient and patient. I have found this to be extremely important, because when people are uncomfortable and people don't know what the future brings, a lot of people get upset and frustrated, and they're just antsy. And sometimes people will lash out at anyone just because they want to get that anger and frustration out, right? You have seen probably slower mail. Amazon wasn't delivering as fast, and sometimes it still has issues now. There's more crowds, right? But ultimately, we don't know other people's stories. What do they have going on in their lives? What do they have going at home? So I always say to myself, okay, I'm going to take a step back, and before making a judgment call or thinking about something about this other person, I'm just going to take a step back and say, I don't know what's happening in their life. So that's where we're talking about being lenient and patient. Focus on your mental and your physical health. That is extremely important, right? Because we are on Zoom right now, we have that love and hate relationship with Zoom. I encourage you to see and think about what are some of your hobbies that maybe you have forgotten or didn't have time for before, and to see if there's any free classes that are happening on Zoom. I found a lot of interesting things that you can do on YouTube, right? Videos of different hobbyists making interesting and creating crafts. Maybe you want to work with wood, right? And then also creating time to relax, to have, listen to some music. I'm in my home office right now, and actually on my shelf above my desk, I have my old CD player with some CDs that are jazz and some of the classical music, because I enjoy doing that. So over the weekend, when I was doing some cleaning, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to turn on the music. And I do the same thing when I'm cooking. I actually have a Frank Sinatra channel on my phone, and that is what I listen to when I'm cooking. And my family knows that I'm cooking because they can hear Frank Sinatra in the kitchen. Physical health is extremely important. If you're not getting out as much now, that is something that you absolutely have to make a priority, right? Remember, we have to take care of ourselves because nobody else is going to take care of ourselves. Okay. So if you're working from home, you are definitely moving less. So take a 10-minute walk, do some stretching. There are some really great YouTube channels out there that can help you with stretching and yoga. And if you want some more physical exercise like Zumba or, Pilates or whatever else, YouTube is your, number 2 search engine because it's, owned by Google. You will find tons of options there. And then figure out what is it that you would like to do. If you're not sure what kind of physical activity you like, because you really do have to enjoy it, try different things, right? Yoga, biking, running, walking, and then you'll be able to find videos and ideas and suggestions on the social media for sure. And of course, just a quick reminder that I have to tell myself all the time, because I like to keep things in control and do things, on the regular basis, is that change is hard, right? But we just have to take the things that we have and analyze them and figure out what is it that we can do that we can control, right? And then we have to pivot. Okay, so that is really how progress is made. So of course, everything that is hard is a positive lesson that we can learn from and get and be better. All right, here's a couple of ideas for you that I have. The memories jar. I hope some of you that were on this workshop in the beginning of the year have started with it, but it doesn't mean that it's, it's never too late to start now. You can find any kind of jar, plastic, glass, whatever you have. Don't make it complicated. You just need a jar and a lid, a sticker and the marker to decorate, and some index cards. And what I'm encouraging you to do is take the time every week to write a note with a good thing or some kind of a fun thing that happened during the week. And then you fold the note and you put it in the jar. And then you're going to have 52 notes. If you want to do it more often, absolutely you can. And then on New Year's Eve, at the end of the year, you and your loved ones get together, you empty the jar and you kind of reminisce and you read about the amazing year that you've had. So this is just kind of a fun thing. Now, if you want to take it one step further, and I am all for it, and I will encourage you absolutely to do this, is add $10 in addition to your note every week to the jar. And what that means is that by the end of November, right, or by the middle of November, you should have about $400 in your jar, which will allow you to not have to put the purchases on the credit card, and you will have a great idea and the funds available to buy the presents for the holidays time. Or if you want, you take that money and you put it in your rainy day fund, or maybe you're saving it for something special. So this is an easy way to also be able to save for whatever it is that is important to you. Check your credit report. That is coming up in our August newsletter for something that you have to do. I am a big believer, and I encourage all of my clients in the sphere that does follow me, is to make sure that you check your financial health, right? You go to your annual checkup for your doctor, right? Where you check and make sure that your blood work is great and your overall health is great. Well, remember, you have to do this for your finances as well. And what you do is you pull your own credit 3 times a year. There's a free website. This is not something that you pay for, right? If they're asking you for money, you're not on the right place. It's annualcreditreport.com. And I encourage you to space it out and do it every quarter or 4 months, right? So the next time I'm going to ask you to do that is the month of August, because we spaced it out already, okay? You have to know what's on your credit report, right? Just like blood work, you're looking at your markers, you're looking at your levels. You want to make sure that everything that's on the credit report needs to be there, right? Is it there? And if there's any issues or things that are a red flag, you need to deal with them as soon as possible, because it takes time for you to do a dispute or to file paperwork, so that way that credit report company can research, determine what the issue is, and then correct it. And sometimes those things can take months, okay? So how to build and maintain a good credit, which you need for many, many things in today's world. You make sure you pay your bills on time, you pay off your debt, and you keep balances low. Don't close unused credit cards, and then only open and apply for new credit cards if they are truly needed, right? A lot of times people will tell you, well, we're going to give you $100 and a free t-shirt if you open up a credit card. Before you actually do that, step back and think, do you really need this? Okay, so let's talk about how we make our life easier. I still do this. I still mention this to people, and it's still definitely relevant now that we are in the middle of the summer. If you want to make things simpler, and this is what I'm always talking about, and a lot of the workshops that I do is I ask myself, what can I share with my listeners today that will make their life easier, right? We don't want to make it more complicated than it already is. So how do we make things simpler so that way you don't keep everything in your head and it doesn't overwhelm you because we already have enough on our plate? So here are just some suggestions that I took from my own life that I hope that you will find helpful as well in yours. Hang a notepad on your fridge. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. It is on the magnet. And I tell my family to use this for anything they need me to know, whether it's a grocery list, any kind of reminders, any kind of thoughts. If you want to write I love you on that to your family member and just say, hey, I left a note for you in the kitchen, make it plateful and make it useful. Quick declutter. This I took from our decluttering class. Use your wait time when you are in the kitchen or other parts of your house to do a quick cleanup. I do this all the time. And like in the morning, I know that it takes 7 minutes for my teapot to brew, right? And I sometimes will go and do my yoga routine during that time. And sometimes if I already did this or I want to spend longer time on my yoga, then I will just literally work my way from left to right and maybe clean off the counter, put some stuff away, or work on some, recycle things, or do a quick declutter in the refrigerator. It will help you keep things under control. And besides, you're already waiting for something to happen, right? You're waiting for your dinner to cook. Maybe you have chicken in the oven. Chicken in the oven is actually really, really good time because it usually takes about 45 minutes to 50 minutes for the chicken to cook. You have almost an hour to do something, right? So that is an amazing chunk of time to really make progress. So think about that. Cleaning out your medicine cabinet. If you haven't done that, actually, we are now in the middle of the year, and this is in the month of July is when I usually recommend to everyone to go through your medicine again to see if there's anything that is old and expired. And it is time to clean out your makeup and lotions, right? We keep things for 6 months and not longer than that. You throw everything away and then you give yourself some grace and the opportunity to refresh your makeup wardrobe and buy some fresh pieces to make sure that you are only using fresh items on your skin, which is the biggest organ that we have. At home cleaning made easier. This is absolutely the truth. I use all of these items and I swear by them. And again, the goal is to make sure that when you are using them, you do it efficiently and you get stuff done right away and you do it quickly and then you put it away and then you can enjoy your fresh smelling home. So I have the vacuum cleaner here. The Dawn, I'm a big user of Dawn, not just for dishwashing, but also for stains. The blue Dawn, the plain one, removes the stains like you won't believe. So I'm sharing this list with you. Hopefully that will help you make your cleaning routine a little bit easier as well. Toolbox in your car. I took this from my own personal experience because I have 2 children. And I realized that I should have certain things in my car at all times, because if I don't, it's going to make my life more difficult and it's going to cost more money, right? So some of these things are neutral snacks for adults and kids. Absolutely, case of water, Clorox wipes, paper towels, Windex trash bags, some blankets, gloves, and things like that, that I decided, you know what, I was constantly putting those items in. Then I ended up just getting a box. I actually have a toolbox in my car and then a separate plastic tote. And I carry all those things with me. And it just has saved me so much time and energy and money, because if my kids were like, Mom, I'm hungry, I need some snacks, I'm like, okay, well, why don't you check the bag that is hanging behind your seat, right? And of course, for your car, you want to make sure that you have certain items always there, that in case if you break down, you have at least some of the basic tools to determine what is the issue, right? So, and I have listed them here for you. Insurance, so know your coverage. It is now the middle of the year. I encourage you to review your insurance coverage if you haven't done that at the end of the year or beginning of the year. And I have some ideas for you here, some of the things to look for. And I know for a fact that most of us do not review their insurance every year because, frankly, we don't understand the language. So I encourage you to call your insurance provider and ask them, what coverage do I have and what does it mean? And what you can also do is I have a video that I have interviewed an insurance broker, and we talked about all of these things. And I asked her for translation. Tell me, what does this mean? What does endorsement mean? What is a dwelling? I asked her all sorts of questions that I know that I had questions on, and also the questions that were sent into our other listeners in. So I will actually link that video for you in the description portion of this video once it gets posted to our channel. All right, how do we get organized? If you don't have your documents in order, this is something that I encourage you to do. It is never a bad time to do this. So if you haven't done this and it's something maybe on your list, I encourage you to set up a date and a time, right? You create an appointment with yourself and you get things together. This is from our decluttering class. I get this question all the time. Olga, well, what documents do I need? How long do I need to keep my things for? So I encourage you to use this slide as your guide on what do I need and how do I do this and put it together. Okay, so everything from what an attorney can do for you, what kind of documents that you need. If you want to buy a home, here's a list of documents that you're going to need. And of course, to prepare your annual taxes, I have checklists and spreadsheets for just about everything because I like to be organized and it makes my life a little bit easier. So if you want more information about any of those items, you know where to find me. Of course, I'm happy to dive in a little bit deeper. Take personal inventory of your belongings. As you see on that picture, this is an actual house that was in my friend's development that burned down literally in a few hours. They went out to dinner and then they came back to that, minus the plywood, of course. Okay, and things, unfortunately, things like that do happen and they can happen to any of us. And if you don't take the time to think about these things, and yes, they're unpleasant, but it's important to be prepared because it'll make things easier again if this is something that unfortunately you may have to deal with, or maybe you know someone, right? Or maybe it's your friends or your family. Taking personal inventory of your belongings is what's going to help you deal with this strategy faster. And this is what we're looking for, right? The insurance company is going to ask you, well, can you make us a list of all the personal items that you have in your home? And then you have to close your eyes and kind of mentally walk through your home and write it down. I am helping you by providing you an inventory spreadsheet that you can create and keep on your computer and somewhere safe. And a video of your home is also going to help you. Just take your cell phone and just walk around and video everything that you have in your home. Okay, it's going to truly be helpful, and it would also help you keep track of the things that you have, and will help you even for inventory purposes and for warranty purposes. If you ever have to contact the manufacturer because something is broken, then you have a quick spreadsheet that you can refer to. And I'm sharing this home spreadsheet with you. You just need to follow the link and that sheet will be sent to you. Home maintenance, okay? Every month, if you are not on our email news list, we send out your monthly home maintenance checklist. These are the things that you have to do. And one of the most important things is your dryer vent. If you haven't done it in a while, this is one of the top reasons fires happen. Okay, it's not that hard to do. This is something that I helped an elderly client of mine do in her home. I used a blower, and I actually do have a dryer vent cleaner that I bought in Home Depot. Okay, so I will also share that information with you in the description box for this workshop. So how do we make it successful? This is what I wanted to share with you. And I wanted to let you know that any documents that I mentioned to you in this workshop, I'm happy to share with you. Home maintenance checklist, the $10,000 savings bingo, home inventory spreadsheet, insurance broker contact information, and of course, if you need our help with our concierge service again, and you need some professionals to help you set some of these things in place, we are here for you. And just remember, I know that I shared a lot in this video, and it may be overwhelming to some people. I want you to just sit down and circle some of the things that you feel that are more important to you than right now, and just focus on those couple of things. Set up the appointment with yourself, put that on your calendar, and focus on getting them done. And once you get through those two things, then you can identify another thing or two, and that's how you're going to get through the list and then you will feel more and more accomplished every day. So I'm going to stop my share of the workbook, and I wanted to check with you guys to see if there were any questions that have come up that maybe you weren't sure about, or anything else, any questions that you would like me to answer now that I have finished sharing my thoughts with you.
So I do have a thought to share with you.
Sure, Kevin.
I'm very glad that I'm a saver. So for the last 10 years, all my raises, my bonuses, I contribute to all my 401k. And because I did that, I'm now in a good place. Even though I'm not working, I'm in a good place. So, you know, I'm a big believer in saving and, you know, being frugal, saver. So that has helped a lot. So I just want to share that thought with, you know, and you're absolutely right. I just had to replace my air conditioning central air recently. I was in a sticker shock.
You were, huh? Okay.
Yeah. So.
And see, what, because you are a saver, you didn't just, you know, a lot of people don't have enough money to even, you know, put four tires on their car because they don't have a savings plan.
Yep.
So it is so important. It's hard to choose saving because it's not like immediate gratification versus you getting, you know, a pretty shirt or some coffee, because that you get right away, right? So it's hard to be able to change your thinking, but the thought of having a peace of mind and knowing that you have the savings to support you in case something happens, then, you know, your AC went out overnight and you need it like the next day, right? And especially, of course, it happens in the summertime when you need it the most, right? It's not going to happen in the winter.
No.
So absolutely. And, you know, AC can run, depending on what system you need and how much of a work you need, it can be between $7,000 and $10,000, right?
More.
It was more. Wow.
More.
Okay. I'm not surprised.
I was in
wow.
a sticker shock. It was more.
Wow. Okay.
$7,000 to $10,000 get you a very basic system.
Good to know. Okay. Kim wrote, I need a contractor roofer. I have to fix soffit and fascia board on one side of my house. Any suggestions? Absolutely. We have suggestions, Kim. I just need you to let me know what area you're in, so that way we can make a recommendation for you. Pemberton, got you. Okay. We will get that information. I'll check my spreadsheet and we'll get that information out to you in a day or two. Okay. Absolutely. Okay. Anybody else has anything else that you want to add? I hope that you found this helpful. I know it's a lot, but at the same time, you know, just pick and choose what's important and what resonates with you, and then just do it a little bit at a time. That's why I always tell people, you don't have to do everything at once. Just do a couple of items, a couple of documents, a couple of something, get that accomplished, and then you move on to something else.
So just want to be clear, Olga, that presentation or the PowerPoint stuff, we're going to get copies of that?
Absolutely. Yeah, you always do. You always get copies of everything that I share, so that way you have.
Just want to make sure my memory is bad. You know, I just want to double check.
Absolutely.
Thank
Sandra
you.
says attending this class helps me stay motivated. Absolutely. You know, I do a declutter class every month, and I have people that come every month because that's what helps them and keeps them motivated, because we talk about, you know, all the excuses that you can have in the world, and we talk about how to overcome them. So you're welcome to join me anytime you want, Sandra. I am happy to provide you with all the support that you need to get you moving. Next, declutter class. Let me see. You're in luck. There's one tomorrow. There's one tomorrow. And let me put in, let me give you the link. Yes, you are lucky. Let me put the link in for the registration.
It's another advantage to decluttering.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us are very good in saving for special occasions.
Yes.
So we buy things and we put it away and we say, I'm going to use this for occasion. So the other day, I went through my closet and found out all the clothes I bought for special occasion that I never wore. So by decluttering, now they're in the front of the closet and get rid of some of the older stuff.
You know, you bring up a really good point. We talk about it in the decluttering class. I just put a link to all of our classes so you can go in and sign up for the one for tomorrow for decluttering. But one of the things that I bring up that I talk about in the decluttering class is that if you buy certain special items, whether it's clothing or you buy a special plate or dish, or, you know, the things that we have our parents that keep in their china cabinets because it's wedding china or whatever, I encourage you to take them out and use them every day, because you're going to enjoy them a heck of a lot more using them every day than doing it like once a year, right? So example I can give you is, if you join me tomorrow for the declutter, I actually bring my plates, but my grandmother gave me a set of spoons that she had probably forever that she kept, and she gave them to me as a gift. I don't think it was a wedding gift. It was just because. And I diligently put them in my cabinet. And then I was like, you know what? No. And they're regular teaspoons. And I said, you know what? I'm going to enjoy them more because now my grandmother is not with me. So every day when I have my coffee or my tea, I use the spoons that my grandmother gave me, and they bring me more joy by being used and sitting and collecting dust in my china cabinet. Right? So yes, use your special china. Don't be afraid that you're going to break it, because you know what? Okay, so you put a crack in it, so you break one cup, but then you have all the others, and it's going to make you that much more special using something because it was given to you with love by someone that is important to you. So, and the same thing, clothes. If you buy some clothes for special occasion, I am here in my sparkly top that could be a special occasion, right? But you know what? This is special time. I'm doing a workshop. I'm doing what I love, and I feel good because I sparkle, right? So
nice
that's
butterfly.
how I look at things.
Very nice butterfly.
Yeah, right. So special clothes, special stuff that our family gives to us, use it, right? Because otherwise what's going to happen? You're going to pass it on to someone else. And I can tell you for a fact that younger generations, you know, my daughters, my sister, who's 10 years younger than me, don't appreciate, and they don't want the things that we appreciate, or older generations think that we will appreciate. So I always encourage people, enjoy the things that you were given for yourself. Don't save it for others. And Sandra says that your grandmother began to use her special china, and she initially said it was just for the company, and we responded, hey, we are more important. So there you go. So, and yeah, she smiled, and out came everything from the cabinet, and it felt good to use those things and not just to hoard them. Yep, absolutely. Kim, you have something to add? You are welcome to unmute yourself, or you can type in the
I'm
chat.
good. Just sorry. Just when you could get me some information on a contractor, you could email it to me.
Okay. Do we have your email address?
You do, because you email me the reminders.
Perfect. You got it. I'll get that out to you. You bet. You bet. All right, everybody. Sandra, don't forget to sign up. I expect to see you tomorrow at the Declutter workshop. If you can't make it tomorrow, then we're going to have one next month. Don't worry. We already have our calendar for the month of August out as well. So, all right, everybody, this was fun. If there's anything else that I can do for you, you know where to find me. We're going to get the workbook out to you tomorrow, as well as a copy of this recording. You are welcome to also visit our YouTube channel, where recordings of all the previous workshops are there. And all the information that I put out is there and free for you. So anything else anybody else wants to add as a last thought?
Yeah, we will, excuse me, the center will be providing incentive to one person, and you will get it in the email if you're the winner for it. So
perfect. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for the Pinelands Family Center for allowing us to be the guest and to host this together with you guys. We hope to do it again soon. And everyone, you have a great afternoon, and we'll talk to everyone soon. Thank you so much.
Thank
Have
you,
a good
you
day.
too. Hi, Rick.
Thank you.
Hi,
Bye.
everyone.
All right. Bye-bye,
Nice
everyone.
jobs, Olga. Really good
My
information.
pleasure. Bye-bye.
Mhm.